Folks, this is the Lifetime Yukon angler. That's a wheel modification, okay? This little wheel that comes with it, nowhere near big enough for me, okay? What you wanna do is you wanna pry that thing out of there with a screwdriver or something. It comes right out. There's a screw hole here. There's a Phillips head there. There's another Phillips head here. There's a Phillips head up here. There's a Phillips head down there. Take that thing off of there. Okay, you take it off there, that's what you're left with. There's where your screws go into these pieces right here. Okay, now we're gonna save this. Screws go into that part too. Looks like I got a little boo-boo right there, but that's okay. Ain't no big deal. Tear it off. All right, we're gonna do a wheel modification on this, folks. Had an old cooler that had some wheels on it. I took the wheels off, and what I did, folks, I just pushed one wheel in. Just pushed it in towards the other one. Now to get this little thing off right here, you can buy these at Ace, so you can just tear it off if you want. It's one of those little things. But I'm gonna try to save it. I'm gonna show you how I try to save these things. Is to get like a wrench that barely fits around your shaft, and you can't see that, can you? Just want to hit it from the behind side, okay, to knock it off. Now you gotta be careful because it's gonna fly away. So you gotta know where you're knocking that damn thing off at. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm only one person. I should be doing this on the vise, but let's just do it the way. Let's just do it. I found it. A lot of times it'll go somewhere you can't find that sucker. So that's what I got, is that little thing right there. That little retaining clip. That retains the wheel so it don't go off the end. All right. I may need to get a bigger one because I can see the end is tapered on this one. But that's okay, no big deal. I can grind this down if I have to. Okay, I've already determined how far apart I want my wheels to be. These are gonna be, that would help, huh? These are gonna be 8 inches apart. So I got that, I measured that. I'm gonna go ahead and mark my shaft right there. I need to cut that shaft off right around in there. So got a hacksaw, or actually a sawzall. I'm just gonna go a little bit farther past it. Got a good metal blade on there. Now I'm gonna take this to the grinder, smooth it out a little bit. And what I've done, folks, is the part that held the old wheel. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get you some better light. Okay, so what I've done here is I've used the mount for the old wheel, and I kind of gauged with that how this is gonna go through it. This is gonna mount in that with these larger wheels. And I made sure that these wheels were not going to rub on the bottom of my kayak. So what I do now is I find a drill bit that size, and I drill a hole directly through there so that axle shaft can fit through there. Be right back. This little old bitty wheel that come off of it is not adequate. Look at there. Yeah. It just, with this little wheel, the rear of the kayak still rubs on the ground, and I ain't about to have that. So what we do is, there's one screw hole here, inside here, that's gonna be underneath the wheel. That's you have to take that wheel out to get to that one. So we're gonna have to put that screw in first, and then install our axle and our wheels. We'll be right back. Okay, what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take my set of drill bits, and I'm gonna try to find, let me find that spare piece of the shaft I just cut off. Oh, there's UPS. Wonder what he's got for me. Hang on, folks. Be right back. That was from my neighbor. Anyway, I got my spare shaft here, and that will help me determine what size, way too small, determine what size hole I need to drill for my shaft. Way too small. Oh, hopefully I got one the same size. Hopefully I don't have to go bigger, which, damn, I don't know if I do got one. Let's try that one. Now the way I'm gonna try this out, I'm just gonna drill it into a piece of wood. Just an old spare piece of wood. Go drill into that first. Hang on a minute, folks. I don't want sawdust right there. Instead, it's going all inside my shoe. Okay, there's our hole. Let's see if our rod fits in there. Barely. What I'd have to do is waller that out just a little. Let's see what this one would do. That might be the one right there. I'll tell you what size this one is. See, this is going to vary according to what size wheels you found. I found these wheels, they come off of an old cooler that had wheels on it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm recycling those. Cooler ain't no good no more. Well, hell. Turn that clutch on. I'm trying to go into that same hole, but probably shouldn't have. Okay. Now we got a hole drilled. Whoa, that's way too big. That's too big, folks. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back with the first drill. That was barely big enough. And what we'll do is we'll drill a hole through there, and then we'll just waller it out just a little bit. Or we can heat up our shaft. See our shaft here? We can heat up our shaft with a torch and push it through the plastic if it's too tight. So where is my, I don't know what you would call this piece. I'm not sure what you call it. If anybody knows what you call this piece that holds that wheel in place, let me know. I ain't got a clue what it's called. Now, we want to look at this and see how it's made underneath. All right? And that will help you decide the strongest place for your axle to go through. Now, looking at this one in here, I don't know if you can see that. Here. There you go. You can see it better now. All right. I am going to try to go through that wheel well. See, there's a wheel well in here. Okay, see that wheel well, that rounded part? I'm going to go through that with my new axle. Actually, there's a place in there. There's a place in there that you really want to go through, because let me show you a spot that you want to go through. You actually want to see if you can't get that spot right there. See that little nipple sticking up right there where my finger's at? There's a little nipple sticking up in there, which was probably supposed to be a guided spot. See, it's the end of that guided spot right there. So I'm gonna try to go right through the end of that. And the way I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna have to measure down to it, so I'll know exactly where to go through on this side. So the way I'm gonna measure that is I'm gonna take me a small drill and I'm just gonna push it down to the bottom of that right there. And I'm gonna take my finger and I'm gonna put my fingernail right there on the outside of it and just hold it there. Then I'm gonna go down there and I'm gonna go just like that. That's where it's at. That's the bottom of the hole. All right, that should be the bottom of the hole. I don't want to go to the bottom of the hole. I want to go right above the bottom of that hole. So let's do that, and let's make a pilot hole. Hang on, I'll be back. This airplane goes by. Okay, I'm gonna show you where I drilled it at. I drilled it right there. Let me get a tape measure so you can see kind of about where it's at. These are for the people that want to try to do this modification at home. I'm hooking under the bottom with the tape measure now, and just, you know, just to show you what it is. Okay, I'm gonna show you where it came through. All right, it came through perfectly. It came through perfectly in there. I don't know if you can see it. Let me get a flashlight. Where'd my flashlight go? What happened to your flashlight, man? There it is, over there. All right, see if you can see that light coming through that hole. See the hole down there? It's not quite at the bottom of that curve in there, but that's okay. That's just a pilot hole. And it's not really quite, there's a ridge right here. It's not quite in the center of that ridge, but just to the right of it, just barely. Now to continue that hole, what I do is just put that back on my drill. That wasn't the one. Put the same drill bit back on and make it reach out as far as I can. And let's just go straight through to the other side. Right in the center. Okay, awesome. Now we have a pilot hole on both sides. And it should be in the same spot on both sides. Now, this is very important that you center this and get it aligned properly. If you do not do this, your kayak is going to go to the right or to the left. It's got to be centered, folks. It's very important that this be aligned correctly. Now, you don't want to go around in circles all day, do you? Like me? I go around in circles all day. But I kind of do that on purpose. After about 2 o'clock, I start getting on that blue cup. I go around in circles all damn day. Well, let's take that drill bit and put that one back. Now I'll take a little bit bigger, just a little bit bigger one, and we'll go on through there. Just a little bit bigger each time. Let's see. A little bit bigger each time. Being very careful to stay in the center. All right. Now we'll put that one away. We'll go up a little bit bigger. And this is our final shaft size that we're going to be using. It's a very soft plastic, so be careful. There we go. All right. That is our hole for our new axle. It's not going to fit, like I said. So let's just try to waller it out just a bit. I don't want to go much on that because you really still want it to be tight in there. If that doesn't work, I'm going to just heat it up. Heat that axle up with the, I can clean all this off later with a razor knife. And that will go through. Huh. If we heat it up and go through, it's going to be very tight. So let me just go a little bit more. I'm trying to focus my wallering on the inside hole. There we go. Okay, got that side. Now let me turn it around and do the same thing to the other side, and we'll be right back. Okay, that's done. Using the top of this microwave I'm trying to sell for a workbench. Anyway, I'll just take a razor knife, just a regular old razor knife, and trim around that edge and scrape off the excess plastic that the drill left there, just to flatten it out. You don't have to do this, but it's going to end up coming off anyway when you hit a branch or some grass or something underwater. It'll knock this crap right off. Anyway, I'm gonna knock it off here because I don't want it in the lake or the river, wherever I go fishing. So I'm gonna go ahead and just clean it up right now. That's the kind of way I do things, you know. I do things correctly. I try to be correct when I do things the first time. Okay. Now, let's see if our... Dang, this magnet on here is tough. That should just go right on down through there. Just like so. Yep, it's gonna work. So what we'll do now is take it on out there to the kayak, because that screw is gonna be last, and it's hard to get to that screw with the wheels on. So let's go take it out there and install it. Okay, we'll just go ahead and reinstall this without the wheels in it. Something's rolling away from me. I can't see what it was. I don't need that anymore. That was the axle for the old wheel that was rolling away. So we're gonna go ahead and reinstall our screws that hold this wheel mount on. You can't get that in there. That's way down in the bottom there. Okay. Come on. There we go. Nope, not yet. Did I get it started? Did I get it started? I don't know. I think it's in there. Now, this one. It's in there. Don't over tighten these, folks. It's just plastic that you're going into, and if you over tighten it, you're screwed. Yeah, it's not going to come back out, so don't worry about that. Once it bottoms out, you're done. There you go. Even use the clutch on your drill. Set your clutch to about 5 or something like that. See if that don't help you not strip things out. All right, there we go. I just want to make sure that one's... There we go. All righty. Let me get a little bit closer so y'all can see. Okay. Now take one wheel off of your axle. Of course. Take one wheel off. We're going to feed our axle through there. Just like that. Now we're going to put our other wheel back on. All right. Well, I'm going to have to go get, actually, you know that little thing that I had? That little thing? I'm going to have another one on the inside to keep that wheel from going in, I think, because this one doesn't go in anymore, but this one just falls right in, and I don't need it to go like that. I need something to retain it out there. So folks, go pick yourself up a couple of these little things. I'm going to do that, and then we'll be back to finish this job. All right, folks, I went and got 4 of these things. I couldn't find any that didn't have a cap on, but they're just plastic. The plastic cap will pop right off. I ain't worried about that. So what I plan to do is put one in here, so this wheel can't come inward anymore. Put one on the inside of the other wheel, and then a cap on the end to keep a wheel from coming off. But I thought even better, I think I'll drill a small hole in that end and put this through it. That way I can take this axle out. If it creates too much drag under the kayak, I can take these wheels off when I get to the water. Let's do it. Okay, got that on there, and it's tight, so I'm just gonna melt that cap a little bit. Should pop right off. Yeah, comes right off. No big deal, just don't burn yourself. Now I'm gonna take my boxed in wrench, that fits over the shaft. Ow, hit my finger. Ow. Don't hit your finger, folks. That don't help the situation none. I'm just gonna push that down to where I need it, so it doesn't allow that. See that? That way it doesn't allow that wheel to move inward any. So I got that on there. Oops, you know what I shouldn't have done? I shouldn't have put that shaft on first. Should I? Because that's got to go over that. Yeah, well, I screwed up. Don't put that one on yet, folks. I got to take it back off real quick. Okay, here's what we got, folks, and here's the dilemma. If we want to take this pin out of that hole up there to remove this wheel so we can pull that out to go fishing or whatever. Because if you don't want to drive around with this in the water, I mean, it ain't gonna probably hurt, but I mean, that's a little bit of drag. That's gonna be dragging some when you're trying to paddle. If that's the case, if we're gonna be doing that, we cannot put that other clip on there. All right, we can't put this other clip on there. See that clip right there? If we do that on this side to stop that wheel from going all the way in, then we're not gonna be able to get that off of there. So I gotta have another one of these to go on this side to keep that wheel from going in. So that's, yeah, that's what I gotta do. I gotta put one of those on the inside. That way I can pull that pin and then pull that pin. I'll be able to pull, you know, I'll have two pins on this side. And I'll pull both pins, I can pull the axle out. So that's my plan. Plan B, folks, this is plan B. Get rid of that piece of shit. Folks, I don't have another little Carter pin, whatever you call that thing. I don't have another one right now. It's up at Ace Hardware. And I just got back from Ace for the second time, because after I got back with those little clips, I left my phone up there. So I just go back and get my phone. And then I got back here, got ready to finish this, and decided I want two pins on there. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this on there for now. I'm gonna go ahead and just put that clip on there for now. And I can put that pin through there later. No big deal. Just slide that pin down there. I mean that clip. Slide that clip on down there. Put your wheel on. Just to give us an idea of how it's gonna work. Put your clip on. Your little pin. Put your pin through there. Whatever. Now, if you want, you can just push that back up. Keep your wheel out at the end of the axle. Doesn't matter. Okay. Now my axle is on there. And my wheel. But y'all remember what I said about plan B. Plan B is to have two of these. I'll put one on the inside. And see, there's nothing that's gonna be able to stop it from moving back and forth, except for friction. I mean, it's kind of tight in there. So I don't plan on going too far. I ain't walking across the damn world with that thing behind me. Nope. Pretty cool, folks. What you think? Got me some wheels on my kayak. I'll show you what it looks like from a distance. It looks like it's tucked up in there enough. It doesn't stick down too far. You know, it doesn't stick down a whole lot farther than the what do you call that? The keel? I don't know what that's called. The bottom of the boat. It don't stick down too far. Farther than the bottom of the boat. Let's go back here in the back and see what it looks like. Yeah. That's not gonna be too bad at all, folks. I think that's gonna work out just fine. What you think? I'm gonna see if I can't find me some skinny wheels like off of a tricycle. Because these are kind of fat. And that's gonna cause more drag in the water. So if I get some real skinny wheels, there will be no drag hardly at all. That's how she looks like from behind, sitting straight up and down. Let me take that zoom off. Can't take the zoom off while it's on. Okay, well, anyway, there we go. It ain't perfect, but neither are you.